Hi everyone, welcome to Follow Your Heart here on the Natural Parent Magazine. I'm Anne Cullen, talking today about where babies should be sleeping. They should be sleeping for the first 6 months of life, at least, in close proximity to their primary caregiver or another attentive adult all the time, day and night. So let's talk about what this means a little bit. Now, the reason behind it is because we know it's safer. We know that your baby is less at risk when they are close to you. Their heart rate and breathing is more regulated. You're able to pay more attention to them. And it is actually protective for them to be near you all of the time. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be holding them all the time or that someone else needs to be holding them all the time, but it means that we want to be in the same room with them when they're sleeping. So if they're off in a bedroom, that means you are with them as well. If they are asleep during the day and you want to be somewhere else, then it means you're wearing them in a carrier. It means the bassinet is brought into the living room. It means that you safely lay them on the floor. They are meant to be near you all the time so that you can keep an eye on them and make sure everything is okay. It's also really great for your breastfeeding relationship. The closer you are together, the more you will catch their early feeding cues, and so that's great for babies. You know, it's harder for them to regulate themselves, so the more they wake up, the more wound up and hungry they get, or the more upset they get, the harder it can be to kind of turn that dial back down. And so when our babies are close to us day and night, we're able to respond to them really much more quickly than if they're off in another room needing to make a lot of noise or even cry before we can hear and respond to them. So it's interesting because people are concerned that this is creating bad habits or that babies won't sleep very well. If you're in the living room or in the kitchen and you're cooking and talking and doing what adults do, does that mean that the quality of baby's sleep is going to be less? No, it doesn't. It's okay. You can have them out in the room with you and carry on with your day, and they will sleep just fine. Now, remembering that it is for their benefit to be close to you. So we haven't figured all of this out, scientifically speaking. We don't understand all of it. But if we just kind of think about it from a logical stance, you know, babies definitely aren't meant to be off on their own in the first 6 months for sure. I mean, they're completely dependent on us. Why would we have them off in a different room and expect them to be okay about it, to expect them to want that or do it easily? So for most babies, it just doesn't even work very well. Now, I had different experiences. My firstborn, was easier to put down for sleeps than the second. So I understand all babies are different. And, here's the thing about the nighttime sleeps is we often hear moms in particular saying their baby is so noisy they just can't stand to have them next to them, that they're constantly waking up because they're, hearing the baby's noises. But guess what? That's protective. Your baby needs you to be really alert to them. And I have said this before, if you're really struggling to get good sleep, if you're feeling a lot of anxiety around the noises that they're making or around their needs, or you're just not sleeping even if they're asleep, then get some help. This is Mental Health Awareness Week here in New Zealand, and we do know that, it's important to get sleep. Yes, your sleep as a new mom, new parents will be disrupted. But, if you're really not relaxing around sleep time and you're really finding some insomnia has set in, that is a sign that you need to get yourself some help so you can feel better and at least sleep well in those moments that your baby is also sleeping. So yeah, so I am curious, how many of you are doing this easily? How many of you have been told you're creating bad habits if your baby can't be off in their own room asleep? And in this particular video, I'm talking about just in the first 6 months. So let me assure you, for those first 6 months, keep your babies with you, keep them in the same room. It's protective, it's healthy, it's safe, it's just good on every level. So that's all I have to say about that for today, but I'm sure we'll keep talking about this in future videos. So thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow talking gentle discipline.